What if the internet disappeared forever? Imagine waking up tomorrow, and the internet is gone. No emails. No messages. No banking, no news, no connection. The cables beneath the oceans, silent. The satellites above, dark. Billions of voices cut off in an instant. What happens when the digital nervous system of the modern world disappears forever? The internet is not just a tool. It is the backbone of civilization. Every bank transaction, every flight path, every hospital record, every communication, invisible, instant, omnipresent. We don't see it, we don't touch it, but without it, society grinds to a halt. So what if tomorrow the internet vanished, permanently? Not an outage, not a blackout, but gone, deleted from the fabric of Earth. To understand the scale of collapse, we must first understand the internet itself. It is not a cloud. It is not an abstract. It is a physical web of fiber optic cables crossing continents, undersea lines spanning oceans, servers stacked in vast warehouses, satellites orbiting above. It is electricity turned into information flowing through glass, copper, and air. And it carries everything. Without it, we do not simply lose cat videos and social media. We lose the nervous system of the modern world. Civilization has always been built on networks. The Roman Empire built roads. The 19th century built railways. The 20th century built power grids and telephone lines. But the internet is more than a network. It is all of them combined. Never in history has so much of human life been tied to a single system. And never in history has humanity faced the thought of losing it. Cause and effect sequence. Step 1. Instant communication breakdown. Phones fall silent. Messaging apps fail. News outlets vanish. The world becomes quiet and terrifyingly disconnected. Step 2. Economic collapse. Stock markets run on milliseconds of digital trade. Without the internet they cannot open. Banks cannot function. ATMs fail. Credit cards become useless plastic. Cash returns overnight. But most nations no longer print enough for their populations. Chaos erupts. Step 3. Transportation paralysis. Airplanes rely on digital navigation. Container ships depend on online logistics. Trains, cars, buses, all tied to networks. Global trade freezes. Food and medicine deliveries stop. Step 4. Government and security breakdown. Military defense systems are tied to the net. Emergency services lose coordination. Hospitals lose patient records. Cities stumble blind. Step 5. Social collapse. Billions turn desperate. Supermarkets run empty. Panic spreads faster than information can travel. Rumors replace truth. Isolation replaces connection. Within days, civilization begins to fracture. But this is not just the first week. This is forever. Society adapts, or it dies. Mail services return. Radio stations become lifelines. Paper records replace digital ones. But efficiency collapses to a fraction of its former self. Science slows. Medicine slows. Space exploration halts. The interconnected web of human knowledge becomes fragmented, like shards of glass scattered across the world. The 21st century collapses into the 20th. Or worse, into the 19th. History offers echoes of this fate. When Rome's road networks crumbled, trade collapsed, and Europe fell into centuries of darkness. When the 1929 stock market crashed, economies imploded, and nations turned toward extremism. But the internet disappearing would be worse. Because this time the collapse is global, simultaneous, universal. No nation, no person untouched. And yet, it is not only systems that fail. It is people. A generation raised online suddenly cut off. Families unable to speak across oceans. Children born into silence where once there was connection. The isolation would be profound. The loneliness devastating. But in that silence, perhaps something else emerges. Local communities regrow. face-to-face communication returns. The pace of life slows. The collapse of global connection, replaced by the rebirth of the local. So, what does this mean for humanity? The internet is both our greatest strength and our greatest vulnerability. It has given us knowledge, freedom, and unity. But it has also made us dependent, fragile, unable to live without it. If it vanished, we would lose decades of progress overnight. But we would also be forced to ask, were we ever meant to be this connected? Imagine the silence. A world without notifications. Without maps, without screens, without voices carried through invisible threads. A world where the hum of servers dies. And humanity is left alone, to speak once again face to face. The internet disappearing forever would not just end an age. It would end the age. If the internet vanished tomorrow, would humanity fall into chaos? Or would we discover who we are without it? And if the web that connects us is this fragile, what happens if the electricity that powers it disappears too?